and I want to share with you an insight that has radically changed my life. It's this: I have all the time I need to do everything I really need to do in my life.
Hi again, everybody. This is Heartbeat, the podcast, featuring insight and teaching from the more than 50 years of work put together by Landon Saunders. On today's episode, we dip back into the archive of special messages Landon put together for a special group of friends. These were podcasts long before there was a podcast. And on today's episode, Landon is discussing the issue of time. Specifically, you have all the time you need to do everything you need to do. Now here again is Landon Saunders.
The education you most need, it would certainly require some understanding of time. A life that is full of grace, it has to be a life that knows about time. How many times have I said to myself in my own life, I don't have time. I'd love to learn to do this or that and accomplish this or become that, but I just don't have enough time. This approach to time leads to a life that's full of regrets, frustration, above all, anxiety. And a lot of this anxiety we cover over with busyness. We're just like little bees. And sometimes we're actually proud that we don't have time for anything. Proudly we buzz, I am busy. Well, I've had to get over this busyness, and so I've tried to quit rushing frantically through my life. Haven't totally succeeded, but I'm working on it. Because I don't want the model for my life to be the busy bee. I want to do what no bee has ever done. I want to dream great dreams and live them to the fullest. The Nobel Prize winner, Saul Bellow, said the hardest thing for him was to find dream space. By that, he meant to find the time and place that allows creativity to do its work. And I think we all need more dream space, more dream time. And so, why not for a moment think of your life as a work of art that you're creating. Now, if you don't have a dream for that work of art, you'll drift. You'll have no place to stand. But with a dream, your life will have vision and purpose and direction. You see, a dream provides a basis for your strong relationships with others, and it holds you when trouble comes and sweeps over you. With a dream, you won't complain about life, demanding, why doesn't somebody do something? No. With a dream, you'll say, I'm somebody. I can do something. I like this thought from Victor Hugo. He said, a man is not idle just because he's absorbed in thought. There is visible labor, and there is invisible labor. You see, you can go beyond busyness, but to do it, you'll have to realize that no labor is more important for your life and time than this invisible labor. Invisible labor yields insights that can totally transform your life. And I want to share with you an insight that has radically changed my life. It's this: I have all the time I need to do everything I really need to do in my life. Now, if I take the time to understand that insight, simple as it sounds, if I let it seep down into my inner being, then great new possibilities loom before me. For one thing, it means I can relax. Why? Well, because I can now approach my work with the realization that I not only have enough time to do what needs to be done, I've got time to do it well. And when I learn that, it makes play possible, which is so important to a life of wholeness and peace. But it will make play possible in a new way, a way that's wholesome and spontaneous. As Martin Buber said, play is exalting in the possible. I know a successful comedy writer whose gift for making people laugh is well known. His sense of humor wins him invitations to parties all over town, but he rarely accepts. Truth is, though his work is to make others laugh, he's just not laughing much himself. He knows how to make others laugh, but he doesn't know why. And so his own life and work are drudgery. Cracking jokes at a party is as much work for him as writing a television script. Do you feel this kind of pressure? Do you feel you always must be the life of the party? Is every conversation a test of your social skills, a measure of your charms? If so, you too might get very good at entertaining a room full of people, but the chances are you won't be having much fun yourself. And so the next time you're with people socially, perhaps this weekend, Use your social activities to rejuvenate yourself. Instead of trying to be the life of the party, why not just relax and enjoy your life at the party? Your invisible work, finding some dream space, learning deeply that you have all the time you need to do everything you need to do, will help you to bring this new perspective to your work and your relaxation and your play. With a new attitude toward time, you'll live not only to win, you'll live for the sheer joy of living. You'll exult in the possible, and that's winning. It also means something else. It means you can quit running so scared. Are you old enough to remember the old television show called The Fugitive? It was a strange sort of show, and yet it appealed to a lot of people. And I think it was because somewhere inside us, at times we all feel like fugitives. We're all running away from something. Painful childhood, fateful decisions, embarrassing failures. And some of us, we've been running so long, we've forgotten how it would feel to stop. Let's imagine for a moment what it would be like to stop running. Well, you discover a place of quiet, a place of acceptance. Where? Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can a person find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." In that quiet place, you could begin the work of understanding and rebuilding your life. No, it's not an escapist dream. The old relationships, the old job, the same faces would still be there. What would change would be your awareness, your insight. In your quiet place, you would discover new perspective on what it means to live. You would begin seeing with new eyes and new heart. No longer a fugitive, you've simply come home, home to life. This is the product of taking time to think about your life, or realizing that you've got enough time to do everything you really need to do with your life. Without taking this kind of time, you're liable to find yourself feeling stuck. Once a leaf was fastened to the limb of a big oak tree, and he wasn't very happy. He was tired of hanging around that limb all the time, complained a lot about not being free. But one day, a gust of wind came along as an accomplice, and he snapped himself right off the green tree and went floating down to the ground, gleefully calling back to the others, "I'm free, I'm free." A few days passed, and it began to turn brown around the edges. Sadly, he called back to the others, "This isn't freedom. This is death." Maybe you're finding it difficult to affirm your life just right where you are right now. Now, the answer probably wouldn't be found in a change of circumstances. Freedom is rarely found by running away. No, it's found in being still. In being still long enough to decide to live in joy regardless of the circumstances. This is the wonderful thing about being a human being who knows they have enough time. You don't let the things around you dictate your life. You don't simply react. You don't let circumstances or the behavior of other people decide how you're going to act. You know that freedom is an inner resource, not a matter of running away, nor something that circumstances can take away from you. You are free to find patience and joy even in the midst of adversity, because you know there's a time for every purpose under heaven. Do you know why that leaf wanted to be free from the tree? Well, I'm not sure I know all the reasons, but I suspect it may have something to do with boredom. What the leaf failed to realize is that boredom is not a jumping-off spot. Boredom has an important message. In his typically audacious way, the artist Salvador Dali told an interviewer, "I don't take drugs, I am drugs." Now, these are the words of a man who claims he never suffered from boredom. He once said, "At 5, I wanted to be Napoleon, and from there, my ambition went up." It's been said that the human race is divided into two great hordes, the bores and the bored. Well, I'm convinced that boredom is nature's way of telling you to go deeper into your life. It's an early warning signal that you must develop more inner resources or you'll dry up and blow away. It's said that people fulfill only about 10% of their potential. No wonder we're bored. Do you want to leave the hordes of the bores and the bored? Well, here are some tips. 1. Stop covering up your boredom with compulsive eating, shopping, and television, or any other addiction, you may need some help, but you can do it. 2, talk to your boredom. Find out what part of your life it is that needs attention. Leave the superficial. Find some dream space. You need to do some of that all-important, invisible work. And 3, take revenge on your boredom. What is the best revenge? Living well. Living well is the best revenge. Exult in the possible, learn to play, and remember, you're finding new perspective, and as you find it, watch what happens. Nothing ever happens around here. Same old place, same old street, same old job, same old marriage partner. Well, that's a sure sign we've lost the spirit of wonder, but it's no sign that nothing important is happening. Thornton Wilder forever captures this war between the spirit of wonder and the drag of boredom in his play, Our Town. Emily went all the way through life and missed most of the thrill. That is, the first time she went through. But in his story, after she dies, she gets another opportunity to go back and relive her 12th birthday. And oh, what an experience she had. Entering the world of her childhood, she cried, "There's Mr. Morgan's drugstore and the high school. I just can't look at everything hard enough." How often, stumbling through life with our faces glued to the ground, we miss the wonder of what's happening all around us. Catch any news down at the store, Ezra? Nope, nothing except a new baby was born over at Tom and Mary Lincoln's last night. Mrs. Franklin, don't tell me you're expecting your 15th. Yes, and if it's a boy, I'm going to name him Benjamin. Don't look at your life and tell me nothing ever happens around here. As John Gardner says, history never looks like history when you're living through it. And so the next time you feel bored, be grateful for the warning rather than going off the deep end. It's just time for you to start growing again. And remember, no matter how much you've lost to boredom already, you've still got enough time for wonder. As Emily said, I just can't look at everything hard enough. The other night I was walking on the beach watching the stars come out, and I noticed a mother standing with her little girl. The little girl was looking up at the sky, the mother looking at her watch. And every few seconds she'd say, "Mary, it's getting late. We have to go home." But the little girl didn't seem to hear. She was just gazing up at those sparkling gems eons away, her mouth open, her eyes aglow. And finally the mother insisted, "Mary, we really have to go. Please." The little girl looked at her mother as though hearing her for the first time, and in a soft voice she said, "Why?" And her mother started to say something about dinner and the time and who knows what else, when Mary raised her hand and pointed a finger at the sky. "But, Mommy, look." And do you know, that tired, fretful mother looked up, and she too saw the wonderful sight, but this time through the eyes of her daughter. And I thought to myself, it's not as late as you think, my friend. It's not too late for you. I like these words. For rich people, the sky is just an extra. The poor, on the other hand, can see it as it really is, a gift of nature.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, then we invite you to subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming episodes, and even take the time to like and write a review. This will help as others are looking for similar kinds of material. This podcast is made possible by Friends of Heartbeat, who invite you to visit the website to learn more about other materials from Heartbeat and Landon Saunders' work at thisisheartbeat.com. And until next time, this is Heartbeat, the podcast.